Okay. We are live. Oh, excuse me. All right. Just came on. Everything popped up. I'm actually almost surprised. I just feel so out of practice right now. Boy, I'll tell you what. All right. I am the only one watching right now, so hopefully some people will pop in here. I normally put out a little warning that I'm going live shortly. So, nobody's there, and I'm sure you guys will start popping in as I do this. There's Michael. All right, very good. You finally made it back. Or I finally made it back, but I don't know. I guess I was here last week. I'm going to put a quick little, see if I can get a post out to let people know that we are live. And because I didn't put that out to anybody. I mean, it's every Sunday. So, I think most people expect it anyway. The videos and stuff that I've been seeing pop up. Let me see. I hope that I will be able to tell my story. Well, yeah, just give it a few minutes and let's get some people in here watching, and you can absolutely tell your story. We'd love to have you tell your story. I'll have you call in. Let me get where I was going here. I'll get to that phone number. Hey, Jack, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you. I'll get to that phone number in just a moment. Let me go to the channel, and goodness, I'm going to put a post up. I don't even have a picture here. Hey, everyone, we are live right now. Join in. Don't forget to say hello. What are we? This is May 4th. May 4th, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There we go. That was quick and easy. Hello, Derek. How you doing? We got a few of you in here so far. All right. Let's keep going. Get some people in here. Michael wants to share his story, so I'm looking forward to that. That phone number is, let me see here, 585-603-3033. And that is, right there is the number. It's under Evolution of Building. That's one of my other channels that I'm watching this on right now. So write that down so you have it, or put it in your phone, and then you can call that. I've been getting some phone calls on here, and who else here? We got Jesse. Hello, Jesse. On my phone that I take phone calls in to the channel here. People sometimes write in, send me text messages or phone calls, and sometimes they seem to get a little bit nervous because they don't hear from me. Don't get nervous. I really only look at this phone once a week. Sometimes, maybe you're like obviously on Sunday, but like other than that, maybe one other time during the week if I get a chance, once or twice. But the weeks have just been so busy. This stays in the office. It's not a phone I use full time. It's just for call-ins, and you had to communicate back and forth if you got something you want to share with me. Best bet is to send it to the email, the Talk About Strange 2024 email, talkaboutstrange2024@gmail.com. And that, obviously that link is on the homepage. So if you have a story you want to share or something you want to share with me, that's something I check my emails daily. So, check that out. Sometimes it's the end of the day or something, or if I'm tired, you might not hear back from me the same day, but trust that I will get back in touch with you. On an occasion, they get flagged out, and I don't check my spam mail very often. So just shoot me a message on here or something, or whatever, just be patient. I'll get to you. It just depends on what's going on, how busy I am. Hello there, Cabal. How you doing, my friend? All right. Yeah, everybody's coming in. Jesse gave a wave. There's Jim. Hello, Jim. How you doing? Good to see ya. All right. Nice. I'm glad people are piling in here. Nice. Very good. So Miss Wendy's here. Hello from UK. Man, here we go. All right. We're already reaching all the way across the world. Love it. Great stuff. So anyway, I'll get started. I'll tell you guys that we had our garage sale that I told you we were doing. So I've been just, oh my God, we have been, my wife and I, just super busy this past 3 weeks, really trying to set that up, sort through and organize stuff. Oh my God, we had so much stuff to put together. You might have seen in that thumbnail the speakers. So kind of a fun story about them. We went to the thrift store. We went to the thrift store today too. I thought we were going to relax, but we did most of the rest of the day. We were just kind of chilling out. Hell, we even took an afternoon nap. We seldom do that anymore. But we went to the thrift store and I picked up those speakers for $1, right? And it's okay if I tell that because I'm selling them, but I want a lot more than that because the whole idea is I'm doing a promotional thing with them, and they're really expensive speakers. So like I really lucked out. So I'm doing a promotional thing. So I want to sell the speakers for basically about what they were asking for them. And we've looked them up and that. They're Yamaha 500 watt. There's two of them. And then there's a Fender Squawk Box, whatever the hell you call it, but like 380 watt or something like that. Anyway, so I want to do a whole thing. And that's going to go on the other channel, Evolution of Production Studio, to help promote that channel. And I'm going to use the funds towards funding that channel because, you know, there's no monetization or anything on there to grow that. And hopefully we can do something really exponential on that channel this year, in this channel, and just we'll keep growing. And I just want to reach new heights this year. So really get rocking and rolling. Anyway, so that's what we were doing. So we had our yard sale Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And I got to tell you, Thursday was our absolute best day. Friday was okay, you know, but the weather was horrible, and it was horrible Saturday. I mean, Saturday was cold and rainy and nasty. I mean, it was just the yard sale just about flatlined. We even cut out like an hour early, and I don't know, we had some running around to do, but we were pretty wiped out. So by the end of the day, we were really wiped out by the end of Saturday from all that. I think the whole 3 weeks caught up with me. I even felt like I was coming down with a cold or something. I don't know if it was allergies, but for like 3-4 days, just had this dry throat or something. I don't know what it was. Actually, even last week when I talked to you, you guys could probably hear I was a little bit choked up or whatever, but all fine now, you know. So I just don't know what that was. I think I was just really tired and dried out. But maybe it's the dust, you know, where I was working in the shop there. That could be it too. Just getting the allergies going. But other than that, just staying really busy. Let me see. We're getting some people in here now. Michael says, hello, Miss Wendy. So I hope all of you guys have had a great week this past week. I hope you stayed warmer than we did. We had a couple of decent days, but man, this weather is just so back and forth. You just don't know what it's going to do. They're calling for more rain this week. And then I don't know about the weekend. I think it's supposed to clear up for next weekend. So I don't think we're going to retry to have that sale for a couple of weeks or something. And then we'll probably retry maybe with a little better weather. But we did all right. And it was a lot of fun. So really cool. Somebody came in, and I don't know if he's on here now, but he watches the show. I don't think he's been on the live shows. And he recognized me. He walked in the door. He says, I know you. And so I turned to my wife and I says, that's it. I made it. I'm officially famous. People are recognizing me on the streets. But seriously, I had somebody else recognize me. We went to, what was that? Was that Saturday? Yeah, Saturday. we went and had the best chicken barbecue we've ever had. I think, oh my goodness. I mean, it was phenomenal. Summer's here when you start hitting the chicken barbecues. And so I went to the chicken barbecue, and good Lord. I mean, the setup that they had for this assembly line setup that they were doing, I mean, you could tell that they've been doing this a while. I didn't know. There was somebody that I told you to recognize me. I don't want to throw his name out there. If he comes on, maybe he could say something. But he's been on channel. He's talked to us before. Anyway, he said he's been going there since they started. I don't know if he said the 80s or something like that. I mean, they've been doing it a long time. But you get up there, normally you go to a chicken barbecue, you get your chicken, you get a couple potatoes and maybe some coleslaw and a biscuit or something like that, And there they give you the chicken, you get potatoes, nice size salt potatoes, coleslaw. You get a choice between chocolate and vanilla pudding, regular milk or chocolate milk, and an applesauce. They put it all in a bag. I mean, it was just so fluent, the way they were moving these people through. It was phenomenal and delicious. Oh, man, it was so good. So, yeah, I love it when summer hits and we can hit those. Boy, I enjoy that. Jesse, all right. Let me see, you are most welcome. Ha, my brother's calling me. Maybe he wants to go on. Hold on here. Let's see. See, I'll put him on speaker. Chuck, you're on the live show.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You want to say hello to everybody?
Yeah, hello, everybody.
Yeah, I'm right in the beginning of the live show. So, you got any big? What's
yesterday. Just asking you how things went yesterday.
Oh,
so
well, I was just telling everybody. You have any Bigfoot stories you want to share?
Yeah, I just trimmed Dad's nails.
That's a big foot. That is a big foot. All right. Well, with that, I guess I'll let you go and I'll talk to you later.
All right. Talk to you later.
Bye. That was Chuck, my brother Chuck. He must have forgot we were having a live show tonight. He should know that by now. Dylan says, hello, strangers. Miss Wendy, I was just looking in the store and it's my birthday in a couple of weeks, and my daughter asked me what I'd like for a gift. Okay, what would you like for a gift? Did you tell her? I never know what to say when people ask me what I want for my birthday. I never know. Just surprise me. John Summer, hi, I'm listening, but doing some work. That's all right. I get it. Got to get that work done. We just had a phenomenal dinner. We had meatloaf. My wife's meatloaf. Just great stuff with this beautiful glaze that goes on it. Oh, glaze sauce. I might have to put it on the other channel one of these days here. Might want to share that on the other channel. You guys, it's really good stuff. I mean, blow your mind. But, and a baked potato. Good, great dinner. Almost ready for a nap after eating that. So anyway, Michael, you want to call in? You had said you have a story. I think I got everybody caught up on what I've been up to this past few weeks, and mostly this past weekend. So, I mean, it was crazy. Let me see. I can't choose between another Talk About Strange t-shirt or hoodie. There you go. Oh, man. You tell one you want the hoodie and the other you want the t-shirt. So you get them both. Nice. You have to let us know. You have to send a picture in. Cabal got an order here recently. Did you tell us? I think maybe you told us about last time here. You get a picture of that or anything? Yeah. Was that for your daughter? Or I forget now. I've had so much going on. I think it was for your daughter. All right. Michael's going to call in right now. So sometimes it takes a couple tries. So don't get discouraged. Just go ahead and give us a call, and we'll hear that story. I'm ready for some stories. I'm ready to get caught up. You guys need to get me caught up on what's been going on the past few weeks. I tell you what, I've been just out. I've been so busy. Here we go. Hello there.
Hello, Steve.
How you doing?
I'm doing fine. How about you?
I'm doing fine. Nice to have you call in.
Yeah, sorry I missed. I've just had things going. I'm getting ready for a big move. I'm going to leave Florida, actually, leave and go back north. I know some people say that's crazy, but it's just time for me. It's a long story, but we won't get into that. But
Can I
if you
ask
want to
where
go ahead,
north?
I'll go ahead I'm going to move back to my hometown of Dayton, Ohio.
Dayton, Ohio. Okay. Yo, we know some people, some folks in Ohio. My wife has a brother in Ohio. I don't know how far from Dayton, but nice. Okay. Sure.
Well, my story goes back. It's actually kind of a two-part, and things were separated by about a decade. The first part of it took place in the 1980s. I was stationed in Miami Beach area in the U.S. Coast Guard, and I was kind of coming down to the end of my time in Miami, and I kind of had a lot. It's just a long story with that, but I was going out to a beach on the weekend with some friends from the cruise, and I was going to go out there ahead of them and kind of reserve a spot on the beach, and nobody was really getting there. I decided to take this walk. And at the time, that area, it was in Key Biscayne. It wasn't very developed. And I kind of walked through some dune areas, and I had no recollection of anything until the next day, like at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock in the evening. So I had basically a little more than 24 hours of a lost time issue.
Wow.
And I mean, they said as it happened, I mean, they said literally the guy was like, well, he, was like, did you tie one on and get with a chick or something? I said, no, I wish that was the case, but I had no idea what happened. And I was out of that whole week. It was just very weird. But at that time, I really hadn't like read up on UFOs and the abduction thing and everything. I just figured, I don't know what happened that I can tell you. But I more or less learned about it 10 years later, roughly. At that time, I was out of the service, and I was an adult felony probation officer for a county in Ohio. And it was November. I think it was probably about 94, maybe 95. It was Veterans Day, and I was off, and I was going to take my parents. We always go down once a year in the fall to the southern part of Ohio called the Hocking Hills. Very pretty down there. And, see the leaves, the end of the leaves and stuff. So I was getting up, I walked through into my bathroom at my apartment, and if you first walk through, I could just see my right side and everything was cool. Turn around after I was done doing my thing. On my left arm, on my left bicep were 4 long red fingers, very long and thin, with 4 little pads at the end of them. And I'm like, it's like, what? And I'm looking at him, and I'm saying, I kind of had to come up with like, well, I must have done something, Yeah. At the end, I figured out, because I would arrest people. I knew, like, when you arrest people, you do things, keep control, and sometimes you would put like your hand on maybe their bicep to kind of direct them, because that was the only way those fingerprints were there. Yeah. So I did go to see somebody, and they saw it. Now they took pictures, but the pictures did not come out. So I went on with that day, but go ahead. Do you mind asking something?
No, I said interesting, very interesting.
And so on with that day, and those things faded. But my mom did see them, and she's like, "Well, that's kind of weird," and I'm like, "What the heck is going on?" But I was like, because I'd started getting more. I'd been in UFOs for a long time, but I had some friends that I got with, and we were into it more. So I was starting to learn more about it. And they had somebody who was a UFO investigator. And he actually put me under regression hypnosis. And it was very interesting. I came up, and he got me to remember pretty much everything, because apparently that night I was taken, but I wasn't. I remember that on bodies floating up through the roof of the apartment, up into this ship. It was a big black triangular vessel. No portholes, no seams, no anything. And I just go in where the light was. Next thing I know, I'm inside the ship.
Wow.
And the beings told me they actually do have grays, but what they did, they said that the beings themselves said they were humans in a future time, in a future dimension. And a lot of them had actually transcended into beings of energy and light. Now, there were other human beings. And they gave me a tour of the ship, and they took me to this one room, and all the people, there were a bunch of people sitting there. Everything inside the ship was like black obsidian, very shiny. I just remember it was kind of cold. And these people they said, this is how we run the ship. And they all started meditating, and there was this column. There was a cylindrical column that kind of came up, and then a pyramidal shape at the top, and that thing started glowing, and they can move the ship that way. But they say they can bring us into their dimensions for a short time, and they have a means to do that. But they like you said, they said they were human beings from another time in the future and in another dimension. But they said a lot of things. They said one of the things, and this is something I hear a lot now, that about nuclear weapons, that reason why a lot of the UFOs really came to the degree that we had in that post-war era time was that a nuclear weapon, when it goes off, it doesn't just go off into our dimension and time, space. It sends out waves throughout all of time and space, and that attracted attention from good aliens, or whatever you want to call them, non-human intelligence. I guess that's the new phrase.
Sort of
and there was some
butterfly effect. You mean like a butterfly effect?
Yeah, and that brought us to the attention of some of them that we didn't want to have the attention brought. Anything more than all the radio waves and television waves we've been broadcasting, more than the Voyagers going out there with the records and everything that they have.
Wow.
So,
yeah.
And this was interesting, and I basically almost apparently channeled one of them. I had a conversation with the people doing it and some other people in the room that were there, and they said that it's their standard, kind of like Star Trek with the prime directive. They don't interfere, but they did interfere, and this was about the time that the Soviet Union came to an end, and there was literally some stolen nuclear weapons, nuclear warheads, that were sold to various people, and I guess their target was basically destroying New York and some other American cities.
Whoa.
They said they actually got in the way, and they stopped that. So they stopped that particular transaction. They're not going to let, and you hear this now a lot too in the UFO, that people say they have contact with them, that they are not going to let us blow ourselves up with the nuclear weapons. And you hear about all these things that are going on, or it's happened in the past where they go and they shut down entire nuclear weapons. They do stuff with our aircraft carriers and all that kind of thing. Because, they're interested. A lot of times they just test our capabilities and things like that.
And I mean, you're not just bullshitting either. I mean, they've literally interviewed they've literally interviewed people that worked in these missile silos that have said, that have told exactly what happened and how their equipment was taken over and shut down. And, it's like, there's some wild stuff that happens out there that's really undeniable. And what you're saying right now makes a lot of sense to what they've been saying, because why would they, if they're interdimensional and if there's anything to do with like time warps or time zones and stuff like that, if they are us in the future or anything, and we do something to affect that or change that, could affect or change them as well, I would think, so I don't know. What do you think about that?
Well, it's interesting just to say the only thing, like me, because I have the side that I've always believed in UFOs ever since I've been a child. But then again, as I've been in the military, I was a probation officer, and then I later was a newspaper reporter. So I kind of also have this strong thing that give me the facts, don't give me any. But my one evidence was what was on my arm, and that could not be faked. So, your mind can do tricks, and you can have an imaginative mind and come up with all kinds of scenarios. I've been watching Star Trek and every space adventure and everything that's been on. I'm 65 years old, so you can think about the shows I've watched. But that wasn't it. And what's interesting, we used to have a big UFON group in Florida that all kind of fell apart. And recently in my moving, I was in storage locker and I found my notebook I used to have, and there were some cards in there of some of the people that were some of the directors of MUFON in Florida. And I called one of them, got him, we had a nice conversation, and I told him my story. And he said, there's a lady he knows, and she is a scientific researcher into all this kind of stuff. And she had almost a similar identical experience that I did, almost to the letter. They were telling me that I was not ever like abused or anything like you do hear about some of these cases. And they said, yes, there are some of these aliens or whatever you want to call them that have, they do take humans and they don't really care about us, and we're just lab rats to them. But, so.
Wow.
And he seconded it, and that's just been the last few weeks, and I called him like 2 weeks ago, and that's given me validation of what I've been holding in all these years.
Yeah. Wow.
So
yeah.
And I mean, it's kind of fortuitous in a way that I came and had that conversation with him to just tell you and anybody that's listening to me. But now I have a buddy of mine that I'm actually moving back to Ohio, like I said, and he's putting on a UFO conference near Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. It's on the June the 7th, I think it is. There's still tickets. They're only $15. It's an all-day seminar, and they're going to have some top people in the UFO world, and they're going to have their books there and everything. And it's at the Holiday Inn. It's I-675 and Dayton Yellow Springs Road in Fairborn, if anybody's in Ohio and wants to go.
Go ahead.
So you can get on Eventbrite and get those tickets. But
post that up. Put that on one of your, write that in a comment here so that people can see it and maybe write it down. So
yes, if anybody's in the Dayton, Ohio, in the middle Ohio, Columbus or whatever, you're in that, and if you got that Saturday free, you can see if you still get tickets and come to the event. It sounds like it's really going to be great.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome stuff. Great. Well, hey, thank you for sharing that with us. That's great stuff. I mean, really very interesting and to hear about. So, and it goes along the line with a lot of what we've been hearing about and learning about. So, very cool.
Well, I did that like in the 90s before there was the internet. So you didn't have all the information. Now people that have, their stories and everything, so much just jives.
Right. Right. Yeah, absolutely.
So, I don't think I'm a crazy person.
No, I don't think you're crazy either. I don't know if Jeff is on right now, but I wonder what he would think about a lot of that, what you just said too. He'd probably concur, but there's probably a few people on here that concur with some of the stuff that you've said. So very cool. I'm
interested in what people say in the comments. So I get off of here and get back on
all right.
TV. And,
well, it was nice talking to you finally. Thanks for calling in.
I hope everybody, found my story at least interesting.
I'm sure they did. Very good.
So I'm glad to finally get it out. I've tried sending it to different people. I mean, typed it out one time to Laura in Molten Howell, and she never ever got back to me. And a few other people. I know they could probably get thousands of stuff every week, but
sure.
I just wanted to tell her. I mean, I'm not going to make any money off of anything. I just want to tell what it is if it can help.
Well, that's the whole idea, is to share this information. Yeah, absolutely.
So.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, let me get off of here and let somebody else tell their story.
All right. Thank you, my friend.
All right.
You take care now. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. Very cool, huh? That was some interesting stuff. Now I'm trying to see what Cabal's talking about here. I've heard several people say that the universal Bigfoot salute is crossing your hands across your chest while rubbing your shoulders and biceps. This is supposedly recognized as a sign of kindness. For me, it's recognized as a sign as I'm cold. but yeah, that's interesting. Where did that come up? Has anybody else heard that as well? So that's neat. And does anybody else? Let me see. I agree with everything that Mike said. Cabal said that, and John Summers said the same thing, Mike. So very cool. Yeah, a lot of people probably going to agree with you on a lot of that stuff. So it does make sense. Now, does anybody else have anything they want to call in with, and any other stories they want to share? We'd love to hear it. So give us a call in and let us know. In the meantime, let me see, what else can I tell you about? I mean, I've had a few people write into me. If you're listening right now, I apologize if I haven't been completely up to speed on everything. Like I said, I've been over at the storage working my butt off on that, trying to get ready for the sale. So, this first part, as the weather breaks, I got to get real busy and try to get caught up around the house too and stuff like that. So I'm going to continue doing as much as I can and try to share what I can and continue getting on here. So at least we can, at minimum on Sundays, get a chance to communicate and talk and and see what's been going on, what everybody's up to, make sure everybody's doing good. Boy, a few people jumped in here. Pork chops and applesauce. Hello, how you doing? I think I said hello to John. Kit Kat, hello. A few more jumped in. So people are still coming on. I'm trying to think what that story was. Somebody sent in. I don't know if I'll be able to find it on such a short notice here. But somebody wrote in, and I want to be careful. I don't want to disclose any information either. Without permission. Let me see. That was interesting. What you sent in to me, John, had sent in a kind of a biblical story, just another video to go watch. And that was pretty interesting stuff about Nephilims and giants and stuff like that throughout history, and the Great Flood, and some really interesting. It was really interesting. Very well made video. If John wants to share that on here or something, he can. You're more than welcome to. Let me see. What is this one? I wonder if this is one I can. This is here. I don't know. Let me see. This is from another John. Let me see. Hey, bud, this is a short story about what I experienced in Okeechobee, Florida, in the swamps years ago. I was hog hunting with my dog, and a knife saw a stump. The dogs came to my feet, and the smell of the skunk was all of a sudden all around me. And my Indian friends, was told to turn around and follow me, me and my friend, and the smell went away. Caught a hog with my Indian Seminole friends, and in other words, they can look just like a stump, but they call them their friends, so they don't want to be seen, just seen by the whomever they are told that they want to spiritually protect, and have much more hope. You can share this with the people who understand. Call me John. So yeah, so you saw in the Florida swamps a skunk ape is what they call them there. So possible Bigfoot that looked like a stump. Very interesting. Cool. Let me see what else we got. I think Martha has a story that she wants. I don't know if this one is. Hello, Steve. Let me see. Let me double check here. See, Michael, glad you all liked his account. Dylan, I'm jealous and scared to death all this at the same time. And my mother says, hi, Steve and everyone. So that's Catherine there. So let me see. What do we got here? Is this something I can go over? I just want to read this over kind of quick to make sure she doesn't have something that she doesn't want to share. So this was kind of interesting. I didn't hear anything about it. All right. Hello, Steve. A friend of mine, I'm not going to say the name, just this is another John, may be sending you stories about his encounters with Sasquatch on another note. And she goes on another note, people might think I am crazy. Anywho, but I had gone to the supermarket in Hannaford in Cairo, New York. On my way out, there was commotion and people were leaving their carts and food still in it and jumping in their cars. I always park in a handicap parking space because of my bad knee and hip. So I'm pushing my cart. Excuse me a second. Sorry. Don't want to do that in a microphone. told you I've been dealing with some allergies or something going on. I'm better now, but maybe it's the hot room or something getting to me. But anyway, let me see, where was I? So I was pushing my cart to my car and see people scrambling to get in their cars. What the heck? I thought to myself. Then I looked around because I smelled marijuana. It was strong. And to myself, I said, oh God, for God's sake, did you have to do that? I don't know what you mean by that. Then the smell left, but other people's carts were moving around the parking lot and no one was behind them. So they're just rolling off. One lady told me to get in her car. I told her I wasn't worried about it. He's not going to hurt anyone. He's just here, wants to let me know he's here. Laugh out loud. Later, I heard he went down to the Dollar General to look in a dumpster. Lucky him. Laugh out loud. Did I see him? Actually, no, but I smelled his strong odor. No one else saw him. They just had their carts pushed away from them, unseen and unknown. Till next time. That comes in from Martha. Thank you for sharing that with us, Martha. Very interesting. Huh, that makes for an interesting day at the shopping mall, doesn't it? Let me see. What do we got here? This one, I mean, it's a little bit long. This came in from Rhonda. I don't know if Rhonda's on tonight or not. But she says, let me see. I think I was in my 30s, around 30 years old. I was living in Cranbrook, BC. One night I went to bed. I used to sleep in front room because there was things that were bothering me in my other bedroom. It seemed things got to be, the things that go bump in the night. So I'm sound asleep and I didn't know why I woke up, but I woke up and there was a girl standing by the door at the end of the bed, about 3 foot from my door. These have like a little running area between the carpet, runner between the carpet and standing on, she was on the dark gray dress, had on a dark dress. All right, so she was standing on in between the carpet runner and she was wearing a dark gray dress or a smock, an apron, a long apron with, which had a weird looking hat, like a Mennonite hat or a long bonnet. It had strings on it. She had long straight hair, kind of plain Jane looking. I looked at her and said, hello, who are you? She looked like she'd come from some kind of a Halloween party, and it was the month of October, so I figured maybe it was a pre-Halloween party or some sort. She was standing there, not saying nothing, and I didn't want to scare her off in case she could be violent or something. I have 2 kids in the house. So I said, hello, who are you? Can I help you? She said, I'm Mary Putnam, and I am the young guardian to look over you. I didn't do right by my family, so now I have to become a guardian to make it right by looking over you and taking care of you if there's anything that you need to me to just ask. I will answer your questions. Of course, this didn't sink in all at first. I'm like, no, you didn't get that. You don't get that. You don't. Let me see. Who are you? Why are you here? Because I'm here to answer your questions. She's here to answer my questions at 2:30 in the morning, and I don't have any questions to ask anybody. I was just woke up from a sound sleep. I'm just wondering what the hell she's doing in my home, because when I looked up, the door was locked and the chain was on it still. Then I said to her, how did you get in here? And she never answered. And she then disappeared right in front of my face. So I sat there thinking about it for a while. About 5 a.m., I gave my mom a call. I know it's kind of early to give her a call, but I really wanted to know what was going on. So the phone, I handed her, let me see, I got her on the phone and I said, have you ever heard of the name Putnam? She goes, yeah, that's my grandfather's name and my great-grandmother. Let me see, my grandfather's name and my grandmother's name, Simon Hugh Putnam. I'm here. Let me see. I'm like, does he have any daughter named Mary? Not that I know of, but I remember what I was talking about with her. She talked about the witch trials and said, do you know anything about those? And she said she was responsible for getting relatives killed in those trials? Mom said, no, I don't know anybody named Mary that could have done that. Other than me, she said Little Mary. They called her Little Mary. So we went to go about a week later, and the TV came on. I heard someone called 3 souvenirs for Sarah. Why didn't they let me see, Sarah, why didn't get much TV stations back then? Let me see, you watched it, and it got about a witch trial in the Sandlot in Massachusetts, and how Mary Putnam, I think it was, Annie Mary Putnam had caused the death of the whole family and other people. So it was kind of all tied in. Was supposedly she was looking after the family because that was what they used to do was their job, looking after other women and family for money that fell in love and with their masters, stuff like that. So anyway, yeah, it goes on to, like I said, this one's a little bit long. And we need some abbreviations, but she goes on to talk about the family tree and the ages of the people and the DNA and how it all kind of goes back to their beliefs and what they were doing. So, and about answering questions. So anyway, pretty interesting. This is one that I didn't go through and kind of pre-look over, but it goes back to those witch trials, and we talked about that before. So I hope I didn't get that too bungled up on you there, Rhonda, but interesting stuff. Anyway, I just wanted to see if I could try to share that because just the way things have been going. And I think there's a couple other ones on there, but let's take a look and see if anybody has anything yet that they want to share. Michael says, I currently live in the north edge of the Green Swamp. It's got a reputation of Bigfoot sightings. I used to spend a lot of time out there in Ocala National Forest. Yeah, I hear a lot about that. It's another Florida swamp ape place. Yeah. I've never seen any, though, in any of those places. And Rich says hello. That's not my buddy Rich, right? That's another Rich. Okay. So my buddy Rich is ride that bike, Rich. So so when you said that, I was wondering if it was him. Anyway, so does anybody else have any stories they want to share? Get some tapping on here. I don't know if it's interference from. Interesting. Somebody is sending me an SOS or something here. It's kind of odd. Oh, actually it's coming from the Bluetooth. That was weird. How do you like that? I was getting some kind of interference, and when I did that, it almost tried to talk. Now here's the question. Are you going live? Phone calls. I am. Oh, I am. So I don't know if somebody's trying to call in or had called in, but it messed up or what that was. That was kind of weird, right? Okay, that's what's happening. So I wasn't up to speed here with everybody communicating. So Jesse said, hello, Chuck. Sure, going to call now. But you did that. Okay. John's talking about where he lived. Jesse, orb, lights, UFOs. That's been my life since I was 1 year old. Yeah, interesting. I see Cabals. I'd read that. Agree with everybody. Glad everybody. All right, Dylan. Kathy, well, Mom. I currently live in North Edge. All right, I read that. Yeah, he says it's okay, bud. All right. So yeah, somebody, I don't know if they were trying to call in or what that was, but let me see if I see who this is. Okay, that's our Florida boys that called in last week. But yeah, I still don't know why that happened. The phone was ticking. What am I missing here? I can't explain that right now. How do I watch it when it comes on? You just got to go to the channel and click on it. If you subscribe to the channel, it should be there. But yeah, I'll have to try to help them figure that out later on. So what do we got here? It's the government, right? Something going on there. That was weird because I heard like a voice come on, but it didn't sound like them. So I don't know what that was. That was kind of odd, right? Huh. Strange stuff. So nobody's got any stories they want to share right now, huh? It's gonna be a quiet night. I'm not used to that. I think they wanted to, but they don't know how to get onto the live show or something because they just asked me if I was going live, and I said yeah. So if they subscribed to the channel, it should have just came up like it does with you guys. So anyway, so that's what I've been up to this week. I did the sale. I'm working more on the other channel. I got some big projects I'm starting up this week. Hopefully the weather will hold off, and I'll see what I can do. If there's any stories I can get shared with you guys, I got to get back a little bit further in my files here. I still want to share those other 4 stories. I did the 3. I want to do those 4 stories, so I might get them shared as well, if nothing else. So we'll see what happens there. Maybe it's ET trying to call in. Cabal says they're listening to you, Steve. Yeah, they might be. Well, if they're listening, I hope they like and subscribe. Oh, man. I mean, listening to the call-ins, hey, I doubt it. Hey, you never know, I guess, right? So anyway, yeah, so that's about all I got for you guys tonight. So hopefully we'll have a little busier week this week, and we can have a little bit more to share. And if nobody's got anything, there's Lydia just came in. Hello, Steve. Hello, everyone. Sorry I'm super late. Jesse says hit the like button. There's Sherry. So hello, Steve. Hello, Lydia. So some people are coming in here. Yeah, we're actually going to probably end up wrapping up early unless somebody's got a story they want to call in and share, because I don't have anything else. I just, like I said, I got you up to speed on the, let me see, it was that ghost Mary, right? That could be. Hey, there you go. The ghost Mary. That's from John. You never know. It was a little bit interesting, I have to admit. It kind of made me wonder. But yeah, so I don't have anything else tonight to add to that. And so I guess we're gonna call it an early night, you guys. I do appreciate you being here tonight, and I wish I had some more stories to share with you or something, or somebody had something to call in. But we'll get back to busy here next week, and I'm sure we'll have more, especially over the next couple weeks. I do want to let you know that again, I'm working on that other channel, Evolution of Production Studio. So I got some stuff that's gonna be coming up over there. So I appreciate all your support. A lot of you did already go over there and subscribe to the channel. So there's a link in my homepage for that. If you guys want to go to the links and check that out. Jump over there and subscribe to the channel. I think didn't I have a picture of that on here? Do I still have that on here? No, that's not it. I thought I did. So I must switch that over. Anyway, maybe I'll put that up next week, but go over there and check that out. And we'll be doing a lot of stuff over there. So let me see. Good seeing you too, Lydia. So, good seeing everybody, and I will see you again next week. All right. So you guys get your stories together so you have something to call in with, and we'll talk about that and whatever else is happening. So I hope I have some big stuff to share with you by the end of the week. So it'll be a lot of fun. And like I said, I apologize this week. Like I said, I was doing the yard sale, so I was really tied up. I don't have anything else to share on that. I wish I did, but that'll be it. So you guys, thank you so much for joining me here tonight. Have a phenomenal rest of your week. And let me know if you have anything you want to talk about. Shoot me an email to the talkaboutstrange at 2024@gmail.com. And we'll go from there. So Cabal says, bye, everybody. Jesse says, sorry, Steve, but I am not home. Otherwise, I would have called and shared a couple of stories. Just out and about right now. No problem. No problem at all. I appreciate it, you guys. Thanks for stopping in. Have a great night.